Hi, welcome back to my channel. Probably you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. All right. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Jose. I do a bunch of things, um, astrology, music. I love languages, traveling, culture. I haven't been able to travel recently, but that's fine. It's in the works. The reason I'm so a little giddy today is because I just did a session, like an activation for a future self. And um, I have been doing that as a kind of a practice, but it helps when you are with people, which actually brings me to my thing, which probably will be two things. And it's this whole idea that when we go into the future, it's almost like we're predicting. And I know that sometimes when it comes to predictions, it's kind of tricky, right? But when we look at it from a linear time perspective, we sort of think it's like, oh, um, uh, I can't, it's almost like prediction is like, it's going to be set. Like when you have something predicted, that's what's going to happen. I was like, I don't believe in that. But I think that when it comes to prediction, actually, I'm going to cut myself from there. I'm going to cut myself off a little bit because I was looking at the word predict and I went to etymology dictionary online, etymonline.com, and I looked up, here, I'll show it to you. Um, One second. And there are certain things about it in astrology, but we'll get into that in a bit. I wanted to share the screen with you. So I'll show you what I found. So according to this one, it says predict, right? From foretell, prophecy, declare before the event happens. That's the modern, semi-modern understanding of that. So foretell, advise, give notice, right? It comes from pre, before, or pre, dicere, it means to say, of course, but it goes into Proto-Indo-European root, which is the assumed language of all European languages. Not all, but it's a long history. It's a linguistic thing. But etymologically speaking, it comes from the word, this one. I don't know how to pronounce that. Dake, I don't know. Anyway, to show, pronounce solemnly. But when I clicked on it, here's the funny part. Um, you see different things that are associated with abdicate, abdication, addict, etc., etc. Right? But if you go all the way down, it says here might be a source of Sanskrit, dik, point out, show, Greek, dik, nine, I don't know how to say that, but to show, to prove, dike, a custom usage, okay, dicere, speak, tell, say, or digitus from the word digitus, meaning digitus, digitus is finger. But then I look at the other stuff here, like it says here, from the word German word zeigen and tian in the Old English, or teach. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, if that's prediction, if its root comes from that, doesn't it also have an underlying energy that when it comes to prediction, you are telling someone of something for this? I mean, yes, you're informing them of something, it's information, but even looking at it from like quantum physics, let's say, I'm not related to quantum physics, but that whole like you see what you see. It's kind of like I see I see a tree from afar, but I haven't gotten there yet. But you see that it's there. But whether I choose to go in that direction or not is still up to me. It makes you kind of think, right? I don't know. I mean, if you think about the word teaching, like in terms of how it's related to the word predict or just foretelling, isn't that what it is? It's like you're learning something. It's a lesson to be learned. So it's not necessarily something that's like, that's going to happen. But whether it's going to happen or not is, I believe, completely up to you, right? We have free will. We have choice, right? And I actually made a video before where I don't know what I said there, but I forgot what I said, that there's a difference between, but no, there's no such thing as fate, but at the same time, there's no such thing as free will. So it's both. So how it works is it's co-creation. I think some people have already heard about this. It's co-creation. So prediction is nothing more than co-creation. So if you take a path that you know that you don't like, or you're not that path, if you make a decision this second, and then you go, I don't like that. That doesn't resonate. You switch it, but that could change all the time, right? So whatever you take in the next second, you are different. As my coach says, he says that you are different every time, every second. You're a different person every second. You're a different person every second because of the choices we make. Whether it's a thought, it's a word we use, it's our feelings, our emotions, and then our beliefs, and then our actions. Whatever that takes us. Like right now, I'm making this choice to make this video because I felt inspired to do this because it's like, oh, right. So I think it's okay to have predictions, not for the sake of, oh, don't do this or stop that. I believe that it has to do with it being informed about it and then, okay, well, what can we do about it? When I say what can we do about it, it's not to be preventative, nor find, it's not about prevention or finding a solution. It's about making healthier choices, both individually and collectively. So this is what's come to me. And it's just like, I think there's this sort of a stigma with predictions. I don't know. It's like, I have that too sometimes, like, we shouldn't predict anything. It's like, well, if you want to predict something because you have the energy of like, you desire to like, I'm going to predict it and this is going to be set. No, no. It's just saying there's a possibility. Like whenever I do my readings for astrology, I always tell them, might. This might be the case. You probably did this. Even if we went back to the past, when I do like a birth chart reading, a simple one, or a past life ones, I tell them, I said, this might have happened. You could have been this. Da, da, da. I used the word probably, could have been, could, possibly, may, might. Those are the words that I actually use all the time when I'm doing my readings. Well, not all the time, but again, even if we say something that feels like a fact, right? Because we live in a third dimensional existence. We live in form also. So we think that everything is like solidified, it's grounded. That's what it is. No, everything can change. Anything can change at any given moment. You are a different person every second that you are. Every second that passes, you're a different person now. 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 Right. So anything is possible. Right. Right. Sorry, I just got that song, that Lego song. Everything is awesome. So, but anyways, the point is, anything is possible. Right. This is why you have the word possible. It comes from the word potent. Potere. It's in Latin, means potere. It comes from the word potential. Actually, it's similar to the word power. Okay, they're connected. Power, potential, is the same thing. So instead of giving over our powers to what feels like a solidified, constant thing, it's like a linear thing. Even the idea of this whole linear time thing that we're so conditioned to believe in, it's like linear time, and that's all it is. If you take this path, this will happen there. No, even, I mean, I mean, maybe I'm just basing it on the movie of the Avengers movie, and they said, they made a mistake with all the what was that scene from Avengers with the last one, Infinity Wars, and then there was one after Endgame. They said that it's like they made a mistake. It's like all that stuff was bullshit. All that stuff with time, and it was like bullshit. It was wrong. They got it wrong. There's no such thing as linear time. Exactly. But even if I were to base it on that, this is why I believe quantum physics is coming in to show that it's like, oh, okay. Because if you were stuck in linear time, it's almost like saying you only have one way to do something. Do we really believe that instinctively? Is that true? No, it's not. You can make a decision and say, if you feel trapped, if you say I'm stuck, that's a belief you have. That's a belief that I have. And it's okay, well, I'm stuck. Am I going to be stuck with the belief that I am stuck? No, because there's an instinct that wants it to pull away from that and say, no, I don't believe I'm stuck. It's the same thing as believing this idea that linear time is the only way, that linear time is the only type of time there is. There might be linear time. We don't really know specifically in terms of like, there might be linear time in terms of that it's a part of the whole thing, But even your veins, it's like believing in linear time. And this whole thing that we've been talking about this whole time is as if we were, as if like it's like I'm just a stick and there are no roots and no veins. I don't have other fingers. I don't have other forms of the body. I don't have the eyes, and I just have like that's it, like that. That's it. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It's evolutionary wrong, right? Even if something as stable as like the element of earth cannot stay in one place. It has to crumble. It has to fall apart. It has to form. It has to be turned into metal. It has to be compressed. It has to be released. It has to turn into sand, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any comments, write it down below. Um, oh, I wanted to add before I wanted to add, there are certain specific asteroids that work that tie into this one. But if you're talking about predictions, yeah, there are certain ones. One is the planet of Uranus and also Makemake. Actually, Mercury might be there, depending on the sign it's in. Mercury, Uranus, and but also Makemake, which is all three are connected. Mercury, Uranus is a high vibration of Mercury. Makemake is a high vibration of Uranus. The point is not the point. That's not the point. The point is um, you can figure out how to do that. You could use those charts. You can use those planets. But actually, predictive astrology doesn't work that way. If you've not tried predictive astrology, all you got to do is when you go to astro.com, again, keep in mind what I just said before, that when it comes to things like these predictions, let's not be so hasty and conclude that it is only one way and not the other way, like my way or the highway. So let's say we looked at my chart here. I'm going to show you, right? So 1 second here. Okay. Share my screen again. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. So we see here that we're at astro.com. Okay, I'm going to look at my chart. And we're going to go with even there's different types of predictive charts. You have your natal, you have your progressions. Okay. So if you have your progression, let's say you have, okay, let's say you have natal chart, right? Okay, see, you see how this is the chart, okay? I'm going to go back into this. I'm going to go into the actual progression itself, okay? I'm going to go switch it this way. So you see how there's just a natal chart right here. That's my natal chart. Inside the greens are not what matter right now, but that these are progressed planets there. Right, you can see that it's moving to the next sign. It's going to progress anyway. But if you look at it from the progress chart itself, and let's add the transit, you'll see that it's it moved. My sun, if you look at here, let's look at the sun right here. So sun, it was with conjunct Pluto. Okay, in the progress chart, it is no longer conjunct Pluto. So there's a difference there, but at the same time, it's also in a different sign, and it's also in the same house. The sun is in the same house. Pluto is no longer there. Pluto is in the second house. Does that mean that things change? Yes, but they also don't change. What I mean by that is your birth chart is what's been called as like the dominant energy. You still feel like you're a Libra. For example, like I feel like a Libra. I love connecting with people. I resonate off of people. I resonate off of that energy of connecting. Yes, it's still going to be that Pluto feel where it has to be genuine, but it's not as serious anymore as before. Now it's like oh, I don't need to be so serious. So there's a release there. But at the same time, now I have the moon conjunct Pluto, whereas in my birth or natal chart, it is trine to Pluto. Moon is trine to Pluto right here. You see that marked there, 27 degrees moon, 21 degrees Pluto. So the point is that it does change. And then if you go to this right here, you'll see that the transits are added here. So where is the sun here? But the sun is not my sun here. It's the collective sun. It's the actual sun that's in place right now. It's real time sun, if that makes sense. So So this is a part of predictive astrology. So, transits are also part of predictive astrology. So right now, the sun is in, what is it, 24 degrees, no, 20, no, 4 degrees, Gemini. So that means it is actually, uh, opposite, um, what is this one? 4 degrees, 4 degrees. So it's actually, if you look at the transit right now in my birth chart, this right here, 4 degrees Gemini. This is not a transit. The green ones are not transit. If it's 4 degrees Gemini, it's opposite of my natal. It's called natal Mars. Okay, so natal means it's your birth chart. It's related to your birth chart. It's opposite of that. So it's an opposition side. That means there's something that's pulling. There's a something that is um, causing me to balance between what is like leaders, for example, any sort of leadership position that I need to balance between taking action towards my own leadership. So that's what, on a personal level, that's what it's doing. On a general level, it could be that there are leaders kind of calling me, any sort of person in a leadership position also calling me to kind of work with taking action, which actually makes sense right now. I'm doing more things with my channel. I'm doing more things with posting things. I'm becoming more assertive, but it's sort of about communication. This is why there's this trigger right now. So it's wonderful, right? So I'm balancing the two. I'm not just taking action, but it has to be more informed. It's in Gemini. So, so you see how it's like that, but that's happening right now. Now, if you were to go into, let's say, a predictive thing, this this could mean many things. Like for example, okay, let me go backwards a little bit. So imagine that the sun would be like, okay, so the sun often represents um, uh, people in leadership, father figures. Okay, so one could read that if the sun in Gemini, this is a transit again. Okay, if the sun in Gemini right now it's in 4 degrees, it's opposite of my natal sun, natal Mars. It could be perceived as if the father, my own father, is causing me to balance between me and my sexuality. Would that mean that I am telling him about my sexuality? Like, I mean, like sex? Are we talking about, I mean, that's not happening right now. So does that mean that it's true? Yes and no, because I'm still making a choice. Does that make sense? How it's like that? So if I didn't know this, if I looked at this like months ago or a few years ago or last year, I would have thought, the sun is going to be opposite of my Mars, yada yada yada, right? The sun is going to be opposite of my Mars, sorry, right here. Like, what does that mean? Could be many things. So when we do readings and stuff like this, the same thing. So the point I'm making is that I'm going to stop here because I feel like I'm babbling. The point is that you may see something in your charts. You may see something that's going to be foretold. Does that mean this is going to happen for real? Some of it probably on a collective thing, but it depends on the choices of the collective, the choices of the individual. I say that right now, as a collective, we are changing that, and we are taking back our power, taking back our sovereignty. It's like, no, we have a choice. 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 Okay, so that all boils down to choice and free will. But at the same time, it's co-creation, meaning co-creation means trusting our inner divine, which is never left. It's always there. I mean, you probably heard it again and again and again. You probably already heard it. So either way, there is a choice, and the universe respects that. The universe honors that. So, anyways, I thought I'd just point that out. It's longer than I thought. The video, sorry, 20 minutes. But thank you for watching up to this point. If you made it up to this point, write a comment down below. Um, and like and subscribe. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope that helped. Don't be afraid of predictive astrology or just prediction. Don't make it so much about predictions. Just make it like this could happen and have fun with the information. Have fun with the process and go with it. Remember, you always have a choice. Have fun. You have a choice. Co-create. Trust yourself. You are sovereign. You are infinite. So, as Bashar puts it, you are infinite. So, what's the rush? Okay. So, thank you again. Comment down below, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.